I really hope you guys can see my screen. It's very difficult to read it myself. Oh my god, I think I need fucking glasses. But anyways, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I hope that everybody's having a wonderful summer. It is almost the school year for everybody. Well, I'm not really sure because of the pandemic is still going on. As you guys know, I moved. I detached myself from California, even though I don't want to. I was raised in California, man. But the mask mandates and stuff is still effective, even if, California is the highest vaccinated state in the country. Yet they're still requiring students to wear masks, vaccinated parents. So I don't know. It's really a fucking mess. But nobody's covering this story. And you guys are probably wondering, like, what the fuck? Why does Boone have a letter in front of our faces? But I'm going to explain why. This doesn't necessarily has to do with masks. And we are living in a time, well, you would think, well, I'm a millennial. With the fall of the Soviet Union and the communist country, even right now, there is a anti-government protest in Cuba as of right now, and the lamestream media is using it and saying, oh, it's due to COVID-19, it's due to the pandemic. Even the New York Times said that, saying freedom is an anti-government slogan. So it's really been a very scary time. But like I said, this is seen before, and I didn't really expect to be living. I know I sound kind of entitled, because the millennials, our generation, did not see the fall of the Soviet Union or anything like that. But you would think that time is done, but it's not, unfortunately. So nobody's covering the story. And I'm really glad that Mr. Hayes did come to me and share this information with me and kind of broke everything down. But he worked for a school district, the Triton, I think that's how it's pronounced, regional school district. This is in Massachusetts, by the way. So, but we don't even realize how the far leftist doesn't really the American left doesn't realize how far they have gone for the last decades or so. And they're using the mask as a way to kind of control people. And I get it. You can make the argument about COVID-19. Hey, I get it. My sister was hospitalized with COVID-19 and stuff like that. But my sister is not the one that's going around and telling people to wear a fucking mask and stuff like that, okay? She's not authoritative about it. But the issue is that these people are using, that's in charge of these institutions and stuff, are using the mask to play with people's jobs and shit like that. So this is a good example of one. Now, this story, I'm gonna try the best of my ability to be fair as much as possible. Of course, I'm gonna be biased and be for Brandon Hayes, Mr. Brandon Hayes. But the issue that I have with the story is that these people fucking beat around the bush. They weren't direct. I'm like Hayes. In this situation, just be honest why you removed him in the first place. Now, this is April 30th, 2021. This is already a year into the pandemic, and now I'm talking about it in July. So this story is starting to make it's starting to. This particular story is outrageous when you really think about it. Okay, so I'm going to read this letter first, and then I'm going to play a video of Mr. Brandon Hayes talking to Brian L. Forge. I think Forge. It looks like forget. So I'm gonna call him Mr. Brian L. Okay, the superintendent of schools of the Triton Regional School District. So, Mr. Brandon Hayes got fired, and their main point of removing him from the district as a wrestling coach, as an assistant wrestling coach, is because of mask. I will make the argument that that's bullshit, and here's why. So the letter says, Mr. Brandon Hayes, Dear Mr. Hayes, This letter is a follow-up on the meeting that I had with you over Zoom on Wednesday, April 28th, 2021. This meeting was recorded, and you were given access to record the meeting locally to your computer as well, which you confirmed that you did. So there was two meetings. I'm going to show you the first one in September 2020. That I will say that Mr. Hayes was removed actually for his opinions online. So this is kind of, the mask thing is a cover-up. This is a problem with free speech, especially to teachers or even professors. But anyways, back to the letter. During that meeting, we discussed my concerns with the fact that you have repeatedly stated you will not require student athletes to wear a mask in your role as assistant wrestling coach, which is an expectation of all district employees this year under state and local mandates, and more specifically, governing district policy. You stated this fact to the head coach, then to the director of athletics, and then to me, all via email. At this meeting, I further inquire as to whether or not you will fulfill the responsibility of a job by requiring student athletes to wear masks, confirming that it is a requirement of all employees, and that would mean that I would have no choice but to relieve you of your duties if you did not. Again, you confirmed that you would not require students to wear a mask. Given your repeated confirmation that you would not fulfill the duties of the job of an assistant coach as required, I have determined that it is the best interest of the district to relieve you of your duties as assistant wrestling coach for the remainder of the 2021 school year. While this issue was raised prior to the start of the season and you did not perform any former duties, the district will pay you for the first week of the season from April 26th through April 30th, which is 1/7 of the season, a check in the amount of $594, 1/7 of $4,154, less than applicable deductions, representing the prorated portion of the season, enclosed with this letter. I regret this action has become necessary. Sincerely, Brian Forget, Superintendent School. So, and look, I'm not trying to. I did kind of. I didn't want to expose the information and their numbers below, but Mr. Hayes was like, just show it to people. So my purpose is not for you to dox anybody, to go and attack these people, but they are public, officials, and they are, there are tax money paid for. Well, the people of Massachusetts pay for these people's salary. So, anyways, you're probably thinking, okay, well, I don't understand the point. He got removed because he didn't follow instructions. He didn't follow the CDC guidelines. Blah blah blah. I don't see the point, that the argument that you're making. Well, just like I said, this had nothing to do with mask. So I'm going to show you guys the video of where, oh yeah, I have it right here, where this meeting was taking place, I believe, in September 2020. So this is during the pandemic as well. It started in, I believe, the country shut down, state by state basis, probably around February, I believe. That's when everything started to shut down, because I remember this because my son was getting speech therapy and he couldn't finish it because of the fact that everybody was forced to slow the spread, and they were quarantined for 2 weeks, and nobody couldn't do anything besides getting the necessary resources for your home. But this was in September 2020, and you can hear, you'll hear, I hope this thing works. I really wish that I had my studio, but you can see the exchange between those two, the superintendent and Brandon Hayes, about free speech. So this has been going on for quite some time, to the point where they for a couple months actually prior to that. So let me play that video for you guys.
So this is.
I have to shit down the volume because it's gonna be super loud. Okay.
As I shared with you in the various emails, this is an opportunity for me to hear from you. I know there's been,
And
for
that's
years, you've been requesting to meet.
sorry, that's the superintendent, Brian L. I think his last name is Forget. Sorry, man. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm mispronouncing your name. But you're gonna see the exchange between him and Brandon Hayes about a meeting that was supposed to happen to these with Mr. Hayes and his superior above him over his online engagement, I guess. So.
With me about various things and your beliefs and changing the school district. This is about the letter that I sent to you dated August 17th about my contemplating terminating you from the assistant coaching position for the 2 reasons stated: insubordination for refusing to meet, and then just general conduct towards supervisors. So this is, I'm here to listen into your reasoning for that, and before I make any kind of final determination. So I will listen. It's your turn to speak.
Well, firstly, I'd much rather the 2 items that.
And I don't have that letter that Mr. Hayes holds up, but it's the letter that his superior asked him for a meeting. And Brandon is, I know Brandon outside of this, he wants a recording of everything, and it's his thing. That's what he does to protect his ass, and I totally understand why he does it. But you'll see that the whole firing of the mask thing is bullshit. That's not their reason.
Are here in this letter for contemplating termination be hashed out so that they're actually accurate, because they look like lies to me. I requested a recorded meeting, which I was refused, not the other way around. And the second, my conduct towards supervisors, I was bullied first in 2019, September 6th, when Tim called and told me that he got calls from people that didn't like what I posted online, and he would like me to divorce my persona from Triton as such, to which I told him no, because it's outside of the scope of my job at Triton and infringes on my free speech. So I was then prodded and pried at, starting in 2020, for the same exact thing. And they tried to force me into a meeting, to which I said, you can have one recorded with me, because this looks like it's outside of the scope of Triton School District as such.
So I guess I would just say to that, so same reason I just asked you here, Massachusetts is a 2-party consent state for videoing. So yes. as an employer, it's a very common practice that I would request to meet with anyone who reports directly to me, and you reporting directly to Tim as the AD and Patrick as the principal have every right to require you to attend a meeting. And because it's a 2-party consent state,
they have every right to require me to attend, because that sounds like compelled action to me. Because I don't think
as
that's
a condition
true.
Of employment.
Well,
hang on a second.
Additionally, I've never received.
You just froze there for a second.
Oh, that's right. Additionally, I've never received an employee handbook, so I don't know the standards that are expected between employees and supervisors. Additionally, I've never had a meeting with a supervisor at Triton. I never sat in an interview room to get the job. I've been coaching since 1999 when I started wrestling. And when I graduated, I volunteered for free for years before I was gifted the paid position. And I've only done a good job in my job. And what I see is supervisors overreaching into my life to try to curtail what I do in my free time, because what is causing them headaches for their position.
So I'm going to stop this video a little bit. So as you guys can see, Brandon saying that the meeting is because of something he posted online. So I friend request Brandon when he had his old profile. Now, I look, I totally understand if Brandon would have say, hey, let's go and commit fucking genocide or something. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But my interaction with Mr. Hayes online, it's really just his typical opinion that he provides online. That's what he does. That's what we all do. And so if you are I guess you can say that Mr. Hayes is a kind of a little bit kind of a state government employee, right? Because he's working for the district, right? I get if he went out and participated in a fucking Klan movement or something, or he's a white supremacist, or he's like a Nazi or something. I totally understand that. That point, okay, I get it. But then it's not fair, because you see teachers, you see instructor, professors. You guys remember the professor that took the bite lock to that student's brain? Okay, you know what I mean? Like, not necessarily his brain. I'm just being sarcastic. But he took a bite lock. This professor took a bite lock at, I believe, like UC Berkeley. I'm not really sure. You guys can give me that information down below in the comment section. That'd be great, because, like I said, I'm trying to do this to the best of my ability to get the facts straight. And if I'm wrong, I apologize in advance. But the story of you hear it with in the Joe Rogan podcast when we talk to Dr. Peterson, the professor taking a bite lock and hitting a student in the head, and yet that motherfucker kept his job. You see Antifa members, a middle school teacher who's Antifa going and attacking people in Sacramento. But Brandon, Mr. Hayes, his opinion online, you know why? It's because it leans right. I wouldn't even say necessarily right. It's like libertarian-ish. Okay? And I like I said, I totally understand if that's the case, but the hypocrisy is just astronomical. It's just like, I know that. But anyways, back to the point that I was making. My interaction with Brandon is that he just have opinions just like everybody else. And that meeting was called because of that, because people called and complained about Mr. Hayes. And I seen this in the comment section. I'm not joking. Well, on his post, Mr. Hayes' post. And somebody, I remember a couple months ago, this is, I believe, back in March 2021, I'm not really sure, Brandon posted something on his Facebook wall, and there was somebody who was like, I'm really upset that you are teaching our students blah 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 blah, so I'm gonna call the district and I'm gonna get blah blah blah. And that's pretty much the meeting that you're seeing today. But this is in September, so this is prior to that comment back in March. Okay, so this has been going on for quite some time. I mean, the scary part is that teachers and stuff like that, just like I said, if Mr. Hayes was like a fucking Klan member and wanting genocide and shit like that, okay, that makes sense. But my interaction with him, that's not necessarily the case. You know what I mean? But continue on.
When they could simply forward those messages of those who don't like what I say directly to me, because I'm public with my, ramblings.
And yes, he does ramble a lot on his posts and stuff like that. But like I said, nothing out of the ordinary, that pretty much what we talk about online. You know what I mean? And so, but I'm going to continue on with the video.
So it's outside.
I would never accuse you. Yeah.
You don't have to look, Brian. I'm not. I'm not here to beat you up. I don't have a problem with the school district as such, other than public schooling has been going down the toilet since it existed. I would like it to be better, but I'm not in a position to make it that way. You are. You oversee a huge swath of children.
So pretty much that's the summarization of it. That's the argument that Brandon's making, that hey, you know, I really want to record this interaction with my superiors, and he's talking to he's doing the necessary steps to fix the issue. But anyways, so now that if you fast forward to here, to pretty much the letter to terminate him due to mass mandate. So I don't have that video, but I'm going to try to link it down below, where there's a second meeting that happened, and they were talking about mass, you know, with Brandon. He's a wrestling coach, and the sports require you to be in close contact with each other. And in that video, Hayes, make the argument that, I can't see if they're hurt. It can cause them an infection on their faces with the mask and stuff like that. And I'm going to say this. If the Olympics, okay, that can happen with, I believe there's a wrestling, I'm not really sure. If they can do that, then a wrestling assistant for a small, I don't know, is it a big school district, but a school can negotiate with Mr. Hayes, because Brandon is not a hard person to work with. I mean, I get it. He has strong opinions, and as you can see, he's very, he's very direct, very on point, and just get to the fucking point kind of attitude. But the thing is that he's willing to negotiate. He even asked, "Hey, can I just, coach in small spaces, small groups?" And and they're like, "No way." And as you can see, Mr. Hayes has given his time and energy for years, since 1999, since he started wrestling. And for them to just say, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna remove the our coach that we had for quite some time because of a fucking mask." And I'm gonna try to be careful, because I'm gonna post this on YouTube and try to follow the guidelines and stuff like that. But if it's small spaces, if you can go fucking protest in the George Floyd, the May riots of last year, people were outside, okay, and now that it's July 2021, you're okay to be outside without a mask because you're vaccinated. And this is April 2021, so during that period of time, everybody's getting vaccinated and stuff like that. Things are beginning to get back to normal. And but it seems that the rules only apply to one side, but the other side get away with it. You guys know what I'm talking about? It's like left-wing protests. They can go out, be in close contact with each other, destroy buildings, set things on fucking fire, woo, Black Lives Matter and things like that. But a wrestling coach just asking to be maskless in small groups so he can coach and do his fucking job, he gets removed from it. You know what I mean? And it's just like, this is Massachusetts, so it's pretty much owned by the CCP by now. And it doesn't really make any sense at all. And like I said, I don't really think it has to do with mask. I think it has to do with free speech, and it's becoming really kind of debatable. This is the on the grounds of freedom of speech. Now, I don't know if Mr. Hayes is going to pursue legal actions against Triton Regional School District. I don't know what he's going to do, but that's on him. I'm not going to tell him what he wants, what he can and cannot do. And like I said, I try to be fair as much as possible. And the argument that Superintendent Brian L. Forget, okay, I can't pronounce his last name. I get what he's saying, but in all honesty, Mr. Brian, I think you remove Brandon because of his opinions online. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And this is up for debate, guys, about teachers. If left-wing teachers can keep their fucking job, why can't anybody who lean libertarian or right keep their job too for their opinions online? You know what I mean? This is going to be a kind of a slippery, like a slippery slope of, everybody's going to have an opinion, in the comment section. What, you can say that Brandon deserve it because the fact that he's being insubordinate, he's not listening to mask mandates, blah blah blah. But even California doesn't listen to the fucking CDC, okay? Even the governor doesn't listen to fucking Fauci. You still are required to wear a mask even if you're vaccinated. You see that shit in freaking DC, Washington DC. You have to wear your mask no matter what. So, but and like I said, that I think the mask is just a cover up to suppress Mr. Hayes of his free speech, and it was obvious that was the case. So, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. I do have a podcast called the Far Out Wisdom Podcast at you can check my website at the Far Out Wisdom Podcast.podbean.com, and you guys can find all my information. The Far Out Wisdom Podcast is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. If you guys want to contact me, there's my email address right there. I am also on Podpage as well, so all my all the episode is right there, and I do have my YouTube channel as well, which I don't know, oh yeah, I do have, so you guys can find me there. But yeah, I mean, it's all up to like that. The mask mandate bullshit was just a facade of why he was removed. So anyways, here's my my YouTube page, Boon Him, and yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, love, and do what you gotta do, and yeah, just keep it clean in the comment section below, please. I totally understand about your free speech and stuff like that, but don't be a dick, okay? So anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video.